Watching News Channel 2 Weekend Today with Katrina Smith.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday. It's December 30th, New Year's Eve morning. I'm Katrina Smith. We have a lot of people getting excited about the new year. So all those preparations in just a moment. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Eric Gage. He's tracking snow. We haven't said that in a while.
Yeah, and yet again, snow is not here. It is on the hilltops right now.
It's just as I started getting to the top of Smith Hill, it was snow.
Yeah, driving in, there was some light drizzle, light mist, and as I headed up Smith Hill, that mist turned over to snow flurries. And here's a look in Cooperstown where they are seeing some snow showers. A nice, beautiful scene here. Finally looking more like December after yet again, a very mild stretch. And a few flurries are starting to mix in at Griffis and Rome, currently 34 degrees. So with that pocket of warm air overnight last night near the surface in the Utica-Rome region, actually tracking it through here. This is the front that pushed through yesterday. Again, here in the Utica-Rome area, that warm air prevented a lot of that from switching over to snow. But again, it's a different story as you look around some parts of the area in central New York, especially in the southern valleys as of 9 a.m. And so for today, light drizzle switching over to some light snow showers, some lake effect snow this afternoon. Highs only in the mid-30s, a big difference compared to the past few days. This cool weather sticks around, plus we have a look at what to expect for the New Year's Eve forecast if you head out to do any events coming up. Back to you, Katrina.
Thank you, Eric. Focusing on the economy.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Well, that was just a beautiful shot right there, looking down the Smith Hill into the Mohawk Valley. Still some dustings of snow in highest elevations right now. And taking a look in downtown Utica, a different story. A pocket of warm air preventing a lot of that snow from accumulating. As a matter of fact, it was more of a drizzle in the lowest elevations. But again, a different story as you look to Oneonta and to Cooperstown. Currently, it is 34 degrees, and out in Griffis in Rome, light snow is getting picked up as well. And the highs for today not warming up by much. You'll be hovering in the mid-30s, cooling down into the low 30s this evening and into the upper 20s eventually tonight with a few spotty flurries here and there. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar showing that frontal system is continuing to push south and east out of our area. All that scattered to widespread rain and snow is done with for now. Then our attention turns just a few lake effect flurries and light drizzle you can see very faintly getting picked up on the radars here locally. And your weekend forecast for the final 2 days of 2023, well, a little more seasonable. Both days, highs only in the mid-30s. Drizzle and flurries expected for today. Things will dry up a little bit overnight tonight and into early Sunday, but still it's cool. And then light snow is possible overnight from an Alberta Clipper. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. And again, if you're heading out to any festivities, especially the New Year's Eve celebration on Genesee Street, I went there last year. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend you go. Temperatures will remain in the low 30s, upper 20s with, again, dry conditions with that snow possibly developing a little after midnight. So our skycast this afternoon showing, again, a few spotty flurries here and there from lake effect. This one shows a single band developing just over Route 20 in Madison County. That'll probably be the area where the highest accumulations are possible, but this will not be any major event. We trace a few inches in the isolated areas south of the valley. Then heading into Sunday afternoon is looking quiet, but then as you can see right here, that Clipper system moves through primarily south of I-90. That's the most likely path at this point, producing only a few dustings of snow here and there. Again, no major weather system for the near future. And so for today, highs in the mid-30s, mostly cloudy, flurries and drizzle. A little breezy today too as well. Tonight, low of 28 with a few lingering flurries. Your 7-day forecast. Entering the new year, more quiet with Monday through Wednesday remaining in the 30s still into Thursday and Friday. And our trivia question this December so far is the what warmest December in Central New York records?
When you don't know the answer, you just choose C, the 5th.
I wish I had like a buzzer system so I can, anytime you're wrong, just make a loud It is wrong. Take a second guess.
Ooh, I don't know. B.
There you go.
Wow.
B, second warmest on record.
Okay.
The official, when you factor in the highest highs and the lowest lows throughout the month, ended up being a, let's see, I have 2015 open.
That's huge, though. The second warmest December.
Yeah, so 35.4 degrees, factoring the day's high and the day low.
Sure.
2015 was about a few degrees warmer. 39.4 was the high.
Interesting.
Was the highest,
I think I do remember that one.
Yes, 2015 the warmest. We are officially, if things don't change too much, the second warmest December on record.
That's kind of crazy. I know what to get you next Christmas.
A loud buzzer. Not for when you're right, though. Only when you're wrong.
Only when I'm wrong. Thank you, Eric. Coming up, a soft opening. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another half hour of News Channel 2 Weekend Today. I'm Katrina Smith. Let's get you over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Eric Gage is standing by. For the first time in a long time, we can say you're tracking some flurries.
Yeah, that's right. It's been rainy, it's been misty, it's been, yeah. And even right now in the Mohawk Valley, in the Utica-Rome region, it's still
not quite there.
Yeah, it's still too warm for that snow. It's a little misty out. A few sprinkles here and there. And the temperatures, as you can see from some of our sky watches this morning, especially as you look into the Mohawk Valley, 36 New Hartford, 35 Clinton, so a little too warm for snow to fall right now. Even out in Westdale, 36 as well. 34 degrees in Mohawk right now, and in the southern valleys, it's cold enough for some snow to fall. Our skywatchers Stewart and Cooperstown reporting an inch of total snow. And you can see where all the snow has fallen here in central New York, primarily in the southern valleys. Also, something to look at too, Colebrook seeing a break in the clouds right there, maybe seeing a peak of sunshine or two. And the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar. Right now, we're still dealing with just a few lingering flurries and light drizzle, misty conditions. It's still going to remain unsettled for today. However, those temperatures are the big difference. Highs today only in the mid-30s, again with mostly cloudy skies, some light drizzle, and a few flurries. We have a look at what to expect for the final day of 2023 and what to expect as we head into the new year coming up. Back to you, Katrina.
Thank you, Eric. This year's party will be...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Light snow was visible on our Cavie Tower camera, and this system was more elevation-based as we did have warm air trapped near the surface in the Utica-Rome region. Here's a live look down in the southern valleys, especially in Oneonta, where it's currently 32 degrees and a beautiful wintry scene to wrap up the final few days of 2023. And as you can see here in the lowest elevations in downtown Utica, green grass, wet roads, none of that snow is really falling at this point. And you can see current temperature right now in Utica is 34. And the snow is currently falling only in the higher elevations right now. So as the afternoon progresses into the evening, we're going to hover right around the mid-30s and then cool down a little bit, enough to where that drizzle could morph into some light sleet and eventually a few flurries in the Utica area. Live look at the radar right now. That system, that front, has since passed us to the southeast. And now, as you can see, just a few small, very low detectable bands of lake effect snow showers taking place. You see a few light white dots right there just south of Utica right now. And that'll be the weather story for today. Mostly cloudy skies, not downwind of the Great Lakes, maybe a peak of sunshine or two, but the clouds will remain dominant for today, and even most for tomorrow. In a weekend forecast, the final 2 days of 2023 are shaping up to be more seasonable, with high temperatures only in the mid-30s. Drizzle and flurries today, quieter for tomorrow, cool with light snow possible overnight from a clipper system. And so if you're heading out to any events for New Year's Eve, especially down on Genesee Street, in my opinion, a great place to go to. It was a lot of fun last year. It won't be dealing with rain like we did last year. Only cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 20s, low 30s. Light flurries will possibly start to develop after midnight, however. In our skycast, you can see a few lingering flurries, mostly cloudy skies this afternoon and this evening, as those temperatures slowly fall from the mid-30s down into the upper 20s. Then for Sunday morning, mostly cloudy, maybe a peak of sunshine, as you can see right here, a break in the clouds. But again, looking relatively quiet with maybe a few lingering flurries in the southern valleys by the early afternoon. 7 p.m., it's looking quiet and dry. 30s, and then as the evening approaches, you can see that weak clipper system arriving from the west, and this is following a more southern trend, so it's looking more likely that it's going to flow south and miss the north country while it produces some light snow along I-90 and south into early Monday. And so for today, highs in the mid-30s, mostly cloudy, flurries and light drizzle tonight. A few flurries, temperatures in the upper 20s, low 30s. 7-day forecast, wrapping up the final few days of 2023. Again, very seasonable, and this cool stretch continues into Monday through Wednesday for the first 3 days of 2024. And our trivia question, how much did the first Times Square New Year's Eve ball weigh?
Let's say C, 700 pounds.
You got it.
Yes!
I'm mad you got it right.
I have to get the sound effect for got it right.
Yeah, so I'll have the buzzer for when you're wrong, and you have the buzzer for when you're right. So it's a competition of what we have. We got to find a thing for that. But the reason why I'm saying that is because the new New Year's Eve ball is nearly 12,000 pounds. That is so heavy. So compare that to the first one, which I'm pretty sure was made of wood and pieces of metal. This one I think is more fancy. A lot of wires, a lot of glass
I would think
panes.
it would get lighter because everything's high tech and right, but it's heavier.
Yeah.
A lot heavier. Thank you so much, Eric. All right, so in California,
Snow flurries today and snow squalls, to say the least. Meteorologist Sam Wessing joins us in the Weather Center. And like I was mentioning to you earlier, driving in here about 2 o'clock up Route 12 in New Hartford, all of a sudden whiteout, and then you get to Genesee Street and it was clear. It was the weirdest thing.
I said the same thing. I'm driving on 365 today, same situation. That's how lake effect works.
Yeah.
It pinpoints like one location. That's why when you say we see lake effect snow, we're like, well, one area might get it, and then the next, 2 miles of the road could be dry. And that's what we saw for the majority of the day today. Continuing, that will be the same situation for tonight. Right now, we are sitting at 32 degrees. A little bit of a northwest wind bringing in that lake effect snow at about 9 miles per hour right now. Let's take a look at that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As you can see, much of those lake effect snow flurries out to our northwest, down to our southwest as well, but still here. We still have that chance to see those light flurries as we continue into the overnight hours. Again, not looking at accumulation with much of this at all. So what I'm going to be tracking tonight will be that lake effect snow continuing into the overnight hours. Mostly cloudy, though, for New Year's Eve. We do have a little bit of a low pressure system moving in throughout the evening on New Year's Eve. Most of that will be south of the thruway, but again, I have all of that tracked out for you coming up in my full forecast. Back over to you, Ben.
Sam, thank you very much.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. When we saw a little bit of those lake effect snow flurries throughout the majority of the day today, those will continue to linger into the evening overnight hours, but again, not expecting any accumulation with any of these flurries. Let's take a look at that live Nexus Center downtown Utica cam. As you can see, no snowfall on the ground here in Utica, but we did continue to see light flurries, hit or miss, scattered throughout the day. And you can see 32 degrees right now down Utica. My friend Willie right there sent me that picture asking me, where is the snow? I'm sorry, Willie. I have bad news for you. Not looking like much snow in the next couple of days either. As you can see, those current temperatures outside sitting in the low 30s, so much cooler today than we've been seeing these past couple of days, mainly in the low 30s, 20s up in our north country, and you can see down the Southern Valley, upper 20s, low 30s for this evening. Let's head straight to that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As you can see, much of that lake effect snow out to our northwest, down to our southwest as well, but I'm not going to rule out lingering flurries as we continue into these evening and overnight hours. And as you can see over those past couple of hours, flurries hit or miss scattered across the board as We were talking earlier on saying, Ben and I talking about how it was hit or miss. Driving 2 miles up the road, no snow. 2 miles later, more snow. So that's what we saw the majority of the day today. All this due to that cold front passing over us, moving in, shifting that colder air, bringing us that lake effect snow. The next playmaker out over the Great Lakes right now, and that's going to bring a little bit of snow on New Year's Eve south of the Thruway. Let me show you on the SkyCast. As we continue throughout the evening, again, not going to rule out a little bit more of lake effect snow setting up overnight. Again, not looking at accumulation with any of this snowfall. Continuing throughout the day on Sunday, mostly cloudy, most areas being pretty cloudy throughout the day on Sunday. That continues into the evening, so any dinner plans looks to be clear, just looks to be cloudy on New Year's Eve. Now, as we continue the night, as you can see, that low pressure system begins to make its way. By Sunday night, I did stop the clock at 10 p.m. I'm going to stop it around 1 a.m. as most people will be leaving, maybe ending any type of parties they may have for New Year's Eve. Much of that snow will be south of the Thruway. I'm not looking at too much in accumulation still with this snowfall. Actually, it looks to be a little dry. It lacks a little bit of moisture to bring in that snowfall, but we still are going to see mainly south of the Thruway overnight into Monday morning, and then we will dry out for New Year's Day on Monday. Again, for tonight, I'll keep those flurries in the forecast, lows in the upper 20s. For tomorrow, I'm putting cloudy on the board, but again, want to watch that late night snowfall on New Year's Eve, looking to be south of the Thruway. Highs back into the mid-30s. There's your forecast, though, for New Year's Eve. As you can see, the evening time will be down around 30. I did put cloudy, and again, I'm going to say again, snow, though, possible south of the Thruway. There's a look at that 7-day forecast. As you can see, we're back to those seasonal temps, back closer to where we should be for this time of year in the 30s, and we do have a little bit of a dry stretch. More of News Channel 2 after the break.
Forecast tonight at 11 with meteorologist Sam Wessing, and as I just mentioned, I talked to Eric Gage a little bit earlier. He said some of the side roads, especially going into Paris, New Hartford, are a little bit slick. Are we going to still see more snow? And as I say that, right on the Nexus cam, there goes a plow.
Yeah, so he texted me the same thing as well. I take mainly main roads to get here, so highway crews, as you see, really doing a great job. But definitely those side roads. This is like a little bit, it's not really even a snow out there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of an icy drizzle.
I noticed that. I noticed that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what a lot of happening. So that's why side roads, hilltops, areas such as that probably don't see the plows as much. Definitely going to see the icy drizzle. We're sitting at 31 degrees. Not much actually being picked up on the radar, but this is kind of like a widespread drizzle that we're going to see all over the region. So if you are heading out tonight, obviously take your time. Not much going to be happening, though, as we head overnight. That lingering scattered drizzle will continue into the overnight hours. Mostly cloudy for New Year's Eve. And I am checking some snow south of the Thruway for New Year's Eve later on that night. I'll have more of that coming in my full forecast. Over to you.
Sam, thank you very much. A new chapter in Rome politics began today.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We still are seeing a little bit of those flurries, icy drizzle as we continue into these overnight hours. So anyone heading out, be careful on those roadways, especially the back roads. They're less treated than those main roads. Let's take a look at that downtown Utica live Nexus Center cam. You can see those wet roadways there in downtown Utica this evening. It's kind of been consistent throughout the day, just that light drizzle, patches of snow. Again, continuing right on into the overnight hours tonight. Little Amelia wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. Ignore the Florida State jersey. We're not talking about the game tonight, but she wanted to wish everyone a happy New Year. We're looking at temperatures tonight in the low 30s, upper 20s for the most part. Much cooler, though, as you know, up near Big Moose, North Country, in the low 20s this evening. Same situation down in the Southern Valley, upper 20s, low 30s. There's that Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery live radar. As you can see, a little bit of that lake effect snow, those light flurries continuing just south of Rome, everywhere. Seeing that icy drizzle as we continue throughout the overnight hours tonight. Cloudy skies out there as well, and it's just been very persistent as we continued throughout the day. A lot of that due to that cold front moving over, shifting our winds out of the northwest, bringing in that colder air, a little bit of that moisture, keeping that lake effect snow around for today. The next system, low pressure, still out towards the Great Lakes. That'll swing to our south, bringing the chance for some snow, especially south of the Thruway, by tomorrow night. I'll time all of this out for you. As we continue overnight, you can see that lingering light snow into the morning hours on Sunday. Throughout the day on Sunday, most of it should dissipate, especially by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy for much of your New Year's Eve, so any dinner plans, perfect night to head out and get those done. It's mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 30s. Once we hit around 10 o'clock, you can see that snow moving in, and the majority of it sitting south of the Thruway. Not much in accumulation still, though, 1 to 2 inches possible, but we're not looking at much, and this will continue throughout the overnight hours into the early morning on Monday, and then we do dry out, get a little sunny by Monday afternoon. But I do want to also mention anyone traveling for tomorrow night, most of the snow from the Thruway south, but something we'll keep an eye on as we head throughout tomorrow. So again, for tonight, we're into the upper 20s. Those flurries, again, if you're heading out tonight, just be careful, especially on those back roads, a little bit icy. Highs tomorrow into the mid-30s, cloudy for the most part. Let's take a look at that New Year's Eve forecast. As you can see, we're going to be cloudy for the most part. I didn't put snow on here, just didn't have enough room to write that, but keep an eye out for that snow happening later on New Year's Eve night, and then that 7-day forecast drying out for the start of the new year, and we're in the 30s. More news transfer after the break.